Hi, if you recently been laid off and do not know where to begin, stop right here. I believe this video is here to help you. So a little bit about myself. My name is Olga. I'm 37 years old. I'm from Chicago, a front-end developer, and I myself recently got laid off. And this was my first time being laid off. I kind of didn't know where to begin, and I figured maybe if I made this video, it may be helpful for somebody who could be in the same position that I'm in. So for it not to be so long, I'm going to go over 5 key components of what I think is important at this stage, and then with a couple of examples. And yeah, if you find this helpful, definitely like the video, subscribe, comment down below in case I'm missing anything or you want to add on. And yeah, let's begin. So number 1 that we're going to go over is process your emotions. What I mean by that is give yourself 48 hours to process what just happened. With that being said, life is dynamic, and so are our emotions are as well. You're going to be happy, you're going to be sad, you're probably going to be crying. A ton of emotions is going to happen all at once, and it's definitely going to be very crucial the first 48 hours. So give yourself time to process you being laid off. With that being said, do not rant post on social media. That's why we're giving ourselves some time, because the last thing that you would ever want to do is burn bridges. Point blank. You don't want to post something that can kind of bite you in the butt. Life is very weird, life is very funny, and these may be the people that one day may need, they work at another company and they can hire you, or they can have input. You just don't know, and you just don't burn bridges. I've seen it happen, and you just don't want to be that. So yeah, stay off of social media for a little bit. And then finally, under this key point of processing your emotions, skip comparing yourself. Skip the comparisons. For me, our whole internal department got laid off, but I have known other people that half of their department gets laid off. If that is the case for you, do not compare yourself as to why that person got to keep their job and why you're fired and yada yada. Like, at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with your skills. For the most part, a lot of companies sometimes just need to save money. It's not that deep, and don't let that kind of mess with your head. And then anything that's really going to start messing with your head is just comparing yourself to other people. So skip the comparisons. Now, with that being said, we're going to go into key point number 2, and that is self-care is going to be critical. Now, for us not to go ranting on social media, then what I mean by self-care is definitely start leaning on your people, start leaning on your circle, whether that be your spouses, your partners, your friends, family, relatives, all-encompassing word, but lean on your circle. There's no shame in getting laid off, and that is why we have people who love us. They're there for when we need them the most. So definitely lean on your circle. Now, with that being said, if you do not have a circle, then you definitely have to step up and be the friend or the person that you need the most. With me saying before, life is dynamic, so we're going to go through a lot of bouts of like, we're going to be okay, we're not going to be okay. And in those bouts of, that you're okay, maybe it'd be best to like easily, and I'm saying just the easiest stuff, meal prep something easy. So when you're not in that mood, or, you just don't, you're just not having it that day, you can easily put something in the microwave or the oven, and you can kind of take care of yourself. Another thing of self-care, if you're doing this kind of lone wolf, is definitely get up and have some sort of schedule. I'm not saying that you have to put a full face of makeup on, but shower yourself, get into a basic outfit, feed yourself, and go out for a walk and be in nature a little bit. Some days we're just not going to want to, and those days you're more than welcome to stay home, but at least shower yourself, and keep some sort of schedule. Being down in the dumps will get you nowhere, and sometimes when we're in that mind frame, we tend to stay longer there. So definitely keep yourself a schedule if you have no circle. Third, housekeep your finances. If you were contributing to a 401k, if you had ESOPs, if that was like a employee-owned company, stocks, etc., maybe it's time to figure out what are you going to want to do with that. Are you going to do a withdrawal, full or partial? Are you going to roll it over into another account, convert it into something else? Yeah, definitely do housekeeping for that. File for unemployment. Follow the guidelines for your state, and definitely go ahead and file for unemployment. And then third of all is definitely reassess your lifestyle. Maybe this is the time that you're going to have to basically go back to the basics, and you won't have such a entertainment budget for going out, Uber Eats, clothing, all of the little fun stuff. So reassess it, make a new budget that is going to be comfortable for you, and stick to it. There's no reason to make a budget and then not stick to it, and then we're kind of like panicking at the last moment. So definitely reassess everything, make a budget, and stick to it. Okay, and with that, that's going to bring us into our fourth key point, which is reassess your goals and your skills. What are going to be your new goals? Do you want to do you want to stay in your current position and apply to jobs like that, or do you want to level up from your current position, like a junior dev to a mid level dev or senior? Or do you want to do a complete career change? Do you want to maybe try, I don't know, management or whatever? You want to do something new? Once you kind of have what is your goal, now figure out how to refresh your skills. Do you need just a quick refresher, like, hey, I haven't did an interview in a couple of years, I just need a refresh on how to do interview prep for like technical reviews, or even the soft behavioral interview. Just kind of like refresh your skills, and then apply those skills with either doing a project or refreshing up of your portfolio. Yeah, there's no better way to learn something new or to refresh anything rather than just kind of like, put the work in and then failing and then seeing like your baby come to life. So especially with tech, with all the projects. So yeah, reassess your goals and then refresh your skills. And also going back to the refreshing your skills, in case you cannot afford, well, I don't have money, I cannot pay for anything right now, there's a lot of free resources on YouTube. Anything you're looking for, they're going to have it. And especially, I know there's a lot of stuff for tech, so you have free resources there. LinkedIn has great resources too, a lot of free videos, a lot of free prep, a lot of things that you can do on there. So that's free. And then I'm not sure, you'll have to check, but I believe Udemy has courses that are free. I'm not sure how you say it, if it's Udemy, but it's UDEMY, and they have a lot of courses that you can now refresh those skills or add something onto your skills that will make you stand out in this job market today. So yeah, you don't need money in order to refresh your skills. And then finally, what we're going to end with is, where do you pick up the pieces? Picking up the pieces. What do I mean by that? Now that you have, your goals reassessed, you're refreshing your skills, now it's time to update our resume. There's a lot of free resources as well. There's ChatGPT. There's, and it's just not ChatGPT. There's a lot of AI that can go ahead and give you resume templates. Definitely, look over them. Sometimes they do sound very robotic. That's the only thing I'm going to say. So you need to put your own twist on it. But yeah, there's a lot of free resources that can help you with that. Interview prep. If you haven't interviewed in a while and you don't know where to begin, definitely interview prep. There's a ton of videos on YouTube, and there's a ton of stuff on LinkedIn that can help you interview prep. And then with that, make a LinkedIn post. I have seen such firsthand success stories on LinkedIn that have gotten people jobs, or that they would never had an opportunity. So sometimes lean in on those connections. Make a post that you're open for work. Let them know what are your skills, what you worked on. Highlight a project, something that's going to make you stand out. You never know who that post can reach and what opportunity that can give you. So yeah, update your social media, your professional social media. And then finally, to start picking up the pieces, when you start applying to your job, apply intentionally. Life happens, and sometimes we may not have savings. Sometimes we just need a job really quickly, and I understand that. In those scenarios, it is what it is. But if you do have some time that you can you know, you are going to be okay for a couple of months, I would say apply intentionally. You don't want to undersell yourself, and you don't want to undersell your skills that you're getting underpaid and just taking whatever out there because you're panic applying. So just apply intentionally. Moral, don't undersell yourself. So with those 5 key points, I hope that was helpful. If I'm missing anything, like I said, definitely leave it in the comments below. And if you did, you know, find this helpful, definitely like the video, subscribe so we can continue to grow this community. And yeah, until next time, I will see you later. Bye.